you. So my name is Dr. Christina Rahm, and I am a scientist. I have worked for companies like Pfizer, J&J, Bristol Myers Squibb, UCB, 𝐉𝐨𝐢𝐬𝐧, 𝐂𝐨𝐦𝐬𝐬𝐭𝐲. I've also run healthcare companies. But here's what I'd like to talk about today. It's not about me, but I did happen to write a series of patents that have to do with medical technology, science, fintech, as well as nutritional supplements that integrate into pharmaceutical. Meanwhile, integrating medical technology, patient registries, data analytics, and quality assurance. How do you put all of that together? Let me say this. We all share each other's DNA. In fact, we share our DNA with a leaf on a tree. We're all connected. We're moving towards a world that will all be connected through medical technology and everything that has to do with the virtual world. Understanding this, because I've tracked technology throughout my life, I saw many things in registries, from spine registries to total joint registries to pain registries to oncology registries and hematology registries, where I was able to catch that the environment was impacting people because of the heavy metals that were in the environment, and that our bodies were becoming more and more toxic. In fact, understanding that those heavy metals led to the body not being able to withstand cognitive functioning, and so autism was developed more and more by 70%, and it keeps going up. Even though I worked for some of the top companies in the world, we kept catching that there was a problem with people, and obesity, diabetes, and everything else was impacting and is impacting all of us, because heavy metals from nuclear war and from Agent Orange, from pollution, never leave our world up to the stratosphere. So I developed a series of patents that would really help us detox our environment from nuclear waste and detox people from nuclear waste. Those patents did get approved also for anti-aging, regeneration, and for tumors. Additionally, patents were written for viruses, parasites, bacteria, and fungus. Understanding that we can't solve things overnight, but we need to be able to track what we're doing, and we need to solve world problems, we were able to develop a series of companies that had to do with everything from fashion, which helps you detox and helps communicate with machines so you know what's going on in people's bodies, to pharmaceuticals that have to do with what I just spoke about, to nutraceuticals, to environmental products to help our world detox. We also connected this through data registries and through data analytics so we can track this. But the rock of these companies started with a company called the Root Brands. The thought was, okay, I've been in the medical industry for over 20 years. How do we start to help our world with these patents, with this technology? And here's the thing. Unless we correct what's going on with us, we continue to have problems. As a mother of 4 that's had a brain tumor, a spinal tumor, and had melanoma, squamous, basal cell, and lost a child, and had another child with cancer, but worked in the medical world, and has traveled to over 80 countries, I started with me. Because if I can't think, if I can't function, if I keep getting sick, how do we solve problems? The same applies to you. If you're doctors, if you're CEOs of healthcare organizations, how can you run, how can you do data analytics, how can you do registries, how can you do anything with medical technology unless you're okay? We have progressed a little bit. We now are in the environmental space. We also are in the pharmaceutical space. We're jumping in next year. But we started with a company called the Root Brands. The Root Brands, again, has traveled to over 80 countries. We are now registered and certified in 67 countries. We are a nutraceutical lifestyle brand that helps patients, customers, and physicians with products that help them detox the body and then supplement the body. Detox is a bad word in some countries. Why? Detoxification can be extremely hard on the body. It can be extremely detrimental if you do it the wrong way. So the patents that were written in a way for bioavailability so you could really help, again, with the body, getting rid of things and supplementing things. Through that, I've been able to travel throughout the world and talk to people and work with governments, work with the UN Women for Peace, the European Union, work for different organizations, talk about world population, talk about economics, talk about how do we sustain the world that we're in, write books, and then again come back to the company that started it all. We have a booth downstairs, and our point of developing the Root brands first was to roll it out and develop analytics, case studies, and prove with some of the doctors and governments in the world, how does a nutraceutical supplement brand fit into a pharmaceutical medical world? We have done that successfully with 500% growth per year. We developed a fintech system and a patient registry that's being rolled out right now in the 67 countries. So we can track the data, pay the doctors appropriately, be HIPAA compliant. We use everything from voice technology to typical technology, because still to this day, if you're dealing with things, for example, in Africa, sometimes you still have to do things over the phone or fax things. Everything is HIPAA compliant. Everything that we do is set in space and set in time so that we can gather analytics and prove how we integrate these worlds. You see, it's not just about me. It's not just about you. It's not just about the fact that we're doctors or scientists and we're more important or CEOs of hospital systems. It's about how do we really provide solutions without ego? How do we really take care of our own families? Traveling to 86 countries now throughout the world. I've been exposed to technology that is natural, to formulas that aren't pharmaceutical, that have saved people's lives and gotten rid of cancer, but no one likes to talk about it. If it's not a pharmaceutical product, and I'm from the United States, I worked for all those companies, and I'm still friends with those companies. We have a pharmaceutical company that's starting. But so many people think if you're not a pharmaceutical company, you're not going to solve a problem. I'm here to tell you that having written one of the first patient registries in spine and total joint in the world and rolled it out throughout the United States with interoperative monitoring, as well as with all the technology that we could find to really implement statistical analysis, I kept going back and kept seeing that the issue is we are not preventing things. We are not taking care of our bodies. Pharmaceuticals need to be there. There is definitely a place. But being able to detox our bodies and supplement our bodies is one of the most important things. As a mother of 4, having traveled and worked, I'd say 70% of my life, which is hard to say because I should have been home a lot more, I have to be on 24 hours a day, and my brain is probably the most important thing to me. So the series of products that I developed help detox the body, supplement, and they are nootropics as well, so they help your brain work appropriately and help you adapt. One of my biggest concerns has been over the last 10 years of my life, as we move towards AI and the metaverse and medical technology, because our companies are involved in that as well. How do we take care of our bodies here while our minds are there? It's not if we're gonna go there, because we are, and I really believe that. Maybe it's because my 27-year-old and my 23-year-old tell me that, I don't know. I think it's really because I've spent the last almost 20 years of my life in statistical analysis and data and trying to show what is the best way to treat patients so they get better. How do we improve the quality of care in healthcare? You gotta start with nutraceuticals. You can't leave that component out. I don't care if it's a hospital system or you're a private doctor. It's very, very important. I hope I get to meet you guys. We have a booth that's called the Root Brands. But I will tell you this, whether it's the nutraceuticals I've worked on or another company's nutraceuticals, it's really important that we all take care of our own bodies as well as the patients that we have. Thank you.